I'm going to share in this video how you can find your bottleneck in 10 minutes and fix it. Find what's stopping you, and yeah, so the entire thing. I used to work 8 hours work per day and got zero results. And the problem that I had was I would just work 8 hours a day, which was I just said to myself, okay, I'm just gonna work 8 hours a day, and I would feel super productive and did things that felt productive but was not actually moving the needle. I was tracking my time, feeling accomplished, but now looking back, I know I did zero results, but at that time I would just watch some YouTube courses about this thing rather than just doing the thing like sending outreaches, which would actually move the needle for me. So why was that happening? I was avoiding the one thing that mattered. Now, if you're doing something similar, do stick out. But yeah, the one thing that mattered was at that time for me, I had to do prospecting. I should have like probably sent outreach messages or did some Upwork applications or applications or yeah. And at that time, these things looked very boring and not really flashy as much as like watching all these like really good courses, which felt like I'm learning something and felt really productive. And these prospecting messages, which at the start wouldn't even get any replies, like that felt really boring. But that was what would move the needle over time. But I didn't do that because that was like that was the only thing that I didn't want to do, and my brain was like resisting it at all costs. So what I did instead, I did client work. I do like building systems which are like super complex but not actually solving any problem, and yeah, it just was fun. And organizing, like planning for 2 weeks straight, which I wouldn't even get done, and anything but prospecting. So yeah, hours worked, but zero results. Like I was just doing comfortable work and avoiding the hard thing. Now, if you're doing anything similar, like usually when we just want to work, and if we don't have a defined thing, we just default to the comfortable thing and not actually the uncomfortable ones, but which are actually the ones that would get the results. So yeah, what I was actually avoiding is the thing with most resistance. Like, as I said, sending outreach messages, and these were not flashy, doesn't feel good, just cold messages to businesses. Like, what's so flashy about that? And job applications felt repetitive and unglamorous and easy to skip, but that's where the results are. Like if I just send job applications for, I don't know, like if I did like two or Upwork applications, like 10 Upwork applications for 10 days, I'm guaranteed to get on sales calls. Like yeah, but I was not doing that thing. So yeah, I knew it would work and I knew people were responding. I just didn't want to do it. But in this video, stick out. I'm going to show you how exactly I knock it out now and what I've learned throughout. By learning to like knock this down consistently. And your brain probably does this too, like makes the important thing feel very scary. Like the important thing that you should do, the one thing that you should do, it would just frame it as being this scary because and makes comfortable work feel so productive and tricks you into busy work but no results. So that is exactly what I'm going to be sharing to find in this video, how to find your bottleneck. And I'm going to share that 3-question framework, a very simple framework which you can use to find your bottleneck, and then how you can like actually take action on that so that you can actually move the needle by taking action. And yeah, the first question is, what am I avoiding, or what are you avoiding? Now, be honest with yourself, because I already knew what it was and you probably know what it is as well. The thing you keep putting off. Like for me right now, I want to do prospecting and I know the directory angle that I should be doing, but I'm not doing it. I'm doing all the client work that I shouldn't do and all of that. So usually you just know the one thing that you know you should be doing, or can actually know other people who are like actually getting results or doing, but you just keep putting it off. Or the thing that feels like really hard or boring and scary. That's usually it. The one thing that you feel the most resistance towards is usually the thing that would actually move the needle. And yeah, and question 2, the next step of the framework is, if I did X every day for 30 days, would it move the needle? If I send 10 Upwork applications every day for 30 days, would it move the needle? Absolutely. Like if I wanted to get on jobs as a freelancer, or if I wanted to like apply to jobs and get on jobs and get more clients, if I did 10 applications per day for 30 days, it would absolutely move the needle. I am almost guaranteed to get on calls. Or I could be like, if I spent in the gym, if I worked out in the gym, or maybe even more precise, I don't know, like if I did 10 bench press for I'm not talking about lifting. But yeah, you get what I mean. If I did 10 bench press like every other day for 10 days, not 10 days, like 30 days or 2 months, would it actually like give me results? Absolutely. So yeah, not just like would it help, but would it actually change things? So if yes, and it doesn't need to be like 30 days, it can be, it can differ based on like what exactly you're looking for. But yeah, you get the idea behind this. If that's a yes, then that keep going. If no, that is probably not your bottleneck. That is something that you just do and it feels good. So yeah, but doesn't actually move the needle. And question three is, does it have high resistance? Like, does it actually feel hard? I mean, do you procrastinate on it? Like, do you find excuses not to do it? I always find excuses to not do the thing that that would actually move the needle. I always found excuses when I was starting to send Upwork applications to not send them. I knew that people were doing it and were actually getting results, but I would just I would just say excuses like, oh, they know how to, I don't know, like they know about this automation services which I'm selling, but I don't know a thing. So I probably just would spend more time on courses, and that is okay if I was just, but that was the thing that I was doing every single day, and yeah, and that wouldn't get me anywhere. So yeah, so that high resistance plus high impacts, that would just give you a bottleneck. Now, all three, yes. Now, congrats, you just found your bottleneck. Yeah, that's simple. And common examples. So yeah, for job seekers, it could be just sending applications and not browsing jobs, or I don't know, like keep optimizing your CV, or yeah, or just following up with companies, or I don't know, like sending reaching out to 5 people on LinkedIn so that you expand your network, or yeah, it could be anything, and not waiting, or I don't know, like waiting for the perfect opportunity or whatever, or I don't know, like learning stuff about learning every single day about like consuming content on this, or yeah, it could be for freelancers. I'm just talking for myself because these are all the things that I'm doing or have done. It could be like outreach or sales, but you can like map this out for anything that you're doing. Yeah, so outreach or sales, and not just like posting, or not just, I don't know, learning about the skill, getting on calls. That is what would give you like actual market data and feedback, and not just like messaging, or I mean, yeah, probably even messaging could be a good option, but yeah, asking for the sale, and yeah, not just like framing the perfect pitch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, those are all good, but you should be really careful that that is not your daily action. Like, these are the things that would actually move the needle. For builders, like yeah, shipping imperfect works if you're a content creator, or yeah, just shipping the imperfect videos that you think are not super perfect, and not perfecting the first video for I don't know, yeah, getting user feedback and talking to customers. For students, like actually studying, like not organizing notes, or I don't know whatsoever, doing practice problems and starting assignments. Yeah, the pattern, as you can see by now, is bottleneck is the doing part, and not the preparing part, not the planning part, and it's actually execution. And yes, sometimes I usually got stuck on these things called false bottlenecks. Like, yeah, these are things people think are bottlenecks, what I thought were bottlenecks. I need to, like, sometimes I just go with like everything gets messy, and I just be like, okay, I just need to like completely wipe this off and start with a new slate or clean slate. Yeah, but sometimes you just have to ask yourself very clearly. And yeah, there was this really great quote. I think it was from Alex Hormozy, like, clear is better than clever, and simple is always better than complex. So yeah, ask yourself if you can like simplify things, and actually like find the one thing that you're avoiding probably. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it could probably be that you just don't want to do the hard thing, so you just want to like start over from yeah, you just get stuck on this hard thing which you don't want to do. So I might as well just start with a clean state and all over. Yeah, that often happens to me, and I need a perfect system first. Now, I used to be like a super perfectionist, and I would never ship. And ship means just to like post. In my case, it was Upwork applications. I just wouldn't do the Upwork applications because I really cared what people thought about me when I was starting out. Like, yeah, I wanted to be impressive, and I didn't want to look crappy. But yeah, now that I've sent 70 plus proposals, I know that, I mean, only because I sent the first 10 or 20 crappy proposals, now I can confidently and very effectively and very efficiently, in within 10 minutes, I can knock out a super great proposal than I could have ever made before sending my first proposal. So yeah, I need to do more research, and all of these are just in disguise false bottlenecks. And so yeah, no, you need to act. Like, researching is usually avoiding. I mean, yeah, and I need better tools or setup. And yeah, I used to think that they had all these like cold email setup, which would require that I spend some money in this. And I thought, okay, I need to like have these better tools or setup. But yeah, I mean, I could have just done LinkedIn outreach, or all of those are free. I'm not saying that you should like stick to the free ones. Sometimes if it means that you spend or invest a few bucks, and that means that you can like get going quite faster, you probably should consider it. But yeah, these are all avoidance. You get I hope you get the point that I'm trying to convey over here. But yeah, sometimes things are just messy. Sometimes you just want a fresh start, but often it's just like you're probably just ask yourself if you're avoiding that one hard thing, and that would actually just fix everything. And yeah, and now this is like really key. Why your brain lies to you? What my brain lied to me. So, oh, just a second. Yeah, your brain thinks that high impact is dangerous because we're just wired this way. And the thing that would actually move the needle like feels the most scariest and feels very risky and feels so uncomfortable. And our brain usually confuses that high resistance with high risk, and it just gives so much resistance to it. And yeah, but they're not actually the same. Like high resistance things like outreach, that could get you rejection. Like yeah, rejection is like a possible outcome of outreach. Or shipping imperfect work, you could get some comments with criticism. Or sales calls, like awkward conversations, these feel dangerous, but I mean they're actually not. What is, you know what actually is more dangerous? It's just not acting. And it doesn't feel dangerous, but yeah, logically thinking about it, that is actually more dangerous. And as I said, logically, like not taking action is guaranteed no results. I had, if I had to like tell myself something before, yeah, I would just say this thing, which is like not taking action is guaranteed no results. So yeah, I mean taking wrong action is always better, or so much better than not taking action. And I used to think that decisions are very yeah, I used to think decisions are irreversible, but most of the times most decisions are reversible. And yeah, I mean, I used to think if I made the wrong decision, then I'm just doomed after that. But yeah, I mean, that is one thing that I've learned, that that is actually not the case. You just have to start executing and learn and adjust. And yeah, there's always a way out, or there's always like reversible stuff. But yeah, sometimes I don't know, like maybe dropping out of college or something is probably not a reversible option, and in that case you need to like think a lot about that. But yeah, most of them, like I don't know, sending the first LinkedIn post, that is like super reversible. And yeah, and but the brain lies at making me think that inaction is actually safe at that point, but it's actually the riskiest choice when you actually think about it. So yeah, now the lever test. I'm going to be talking about this, but yeah, I'm just getting a call, so I'll be back in a second. So yeah, there we go. So that is the liver test. Now the lever test, my bad. So yeah, this is like a very simple test for your bottleneck, and how you can, now that you've identified your bottleneck, hopefully, how can you actually take action on it? Yeah, so this is one thing that I do to actually like take action on this, so that consistently, so that we can actually expect results from this. So yeah, ask yourself, if I did this thing or X thing every single day. Oh, we've just like went over this. So yeah, just a reminder, it was like, if I did this thing every single day for the next whatever days, would everything else get easier? If it's a yes, then that's your bottleneck. If no, not your bottleneck. And then yeah, you would just like do these, like yeah, send 5 job applications per day for 30 days. And yeah, and for the first 2 days, like there will be like a lot of doubts creeping in. Like for me, sending 5 job applications per day, I was like, should I focus more on quality rather than quantity? And sometimes we just have to give it some time. Sometimes I just have to like do it for 7 days, and then I would have like actual data that I can see if I actually got any replies. Or I don't know, maybe do it for 10 days. Or yeah, even making these YouTube videos, I'm doing this for like 90 days straight. And yeah, I'm not gonna look at the results. Like yeah, all I'm gonna focus on is the input that I'm putting in. And yeah, and then it would get interviews, offers, or in my case like views or subscribers. And yeah, at the end of 90 days, I think that's like a good enough time that I'm giving this. So yeah, and yeah, and everything gets easier as you keep moving. And yeah, that will be the bottleneck. So reorganizing your Notion for 30 days, or I don't know, like you might use Google Sheets, or yeah, maybe you just like track things on your calendar. But yeah, yeah, it could be like, would have clean system but no actual progress. Like that is probably not a bottleneck. I mean, okay, so what is this? Like things that could be something that you think are bottlenecks. But yeah, I mean, if that is done for like 30 days, if I just keep reorganizing my calendar for 30 days, that would probably look productive. But would there be any progress made at the end of 30 days? Probably not. And yeah, posting content, but on the other hand, like posting content daily for 30 days, that would actually build audience, or at the least that would like help you speak more clearly to a camera, and yeah, build your camera skills, and probably build your sales skills as well if you're talking about anything about sales, or yeah, and opportunities, and everything gets easier. So that is like actually a bottleneck. And watching courses for 30 days, I mean, obviously would you would learn more, but all of that, but would you actually, there wouldn't be like actual tangible results, and that is probably not a bottleneck. And the lever, so now that you define it like this, now you just pull it daily for this set amount of time. So in this case, for 30 days, I just post content daily, and yeah, pull it daily. And usually I just like to front load my levers. Now, what do I mean by that? So anytime I wake up, I just get these things that I've set. So I usually have like 2 to 3 levers that I have to pull for the day. For me, it's prospecting, client fulfillment, and content creation. And once I pull all 3 of these levers for the day, I'm basically free for the day. And before 10 a.m., I get a lot more done than I would have when I was working 8 hours a day and not having done anything and just watching YouTube courses. And yeah, and as I said, why wrong action is like far greater than no action. Most decisions, as I said, are reversible, and I thought the other way, and that cost me a lot. But yeah, you think, what if I do the wrong thing, or what if I waste time, or what if it doesn't work? But wrong action like taught me a lot, and now you know what doesn't work, and you also have learned something about that, and you can always adjust and try again, and that learning would help in the next iteration. So yeah, no, but you know, if you just don't take action, that is not going to teach you, that teaches you nothing. And same place in 30 days, you would have no data to like show for, and no data to improve, and no learning. So yeah, my example I always go to a lot about in this channel is like sending 60 Upwork applications that I sent, and the first ones were like terrible, and I really didn't want to do it, and I didn't know how to talk to camera, or I didn't know the sales language, or I was basically doing selling AI automation services, and I didn't know how to pitch. But I sent them anyway, and the reason that I did that was because I just signed in for this new course, which had accountability, and if not for that, I wouldn't have sent that, but thankfully I did. And now I can make good Loom videos like really quickly and know what converts. And yeah, I know the language of kind of got a lot better at sales and getting responses. So yeah, I only, because I started like the first 10 applications that I sent was like super crappy. And if I waited to be perfect, I'd still be planning, I'd still be probably researching and still be getting ready. So yeah, you can't get better at what you don't do. So yeah, another thing or trap that I fell over was over reflecting. So yeah, reflection is like a really good thing, and I'm a super reflexive person, but reflection can become doubt. So as I said, I'm a super reflexive person. I analyze everything, and yeah, that just gives me the satisfaction or whatever. And yeah, like yeah, just questioning everything. Like yeah, just sending applications for like 2 days and questioning my decisions based on like I didn't get any replies, and yeah, too much reflection and doubt creeps in. So example, as I said, I'm sending 5 job apps per day. People say that's too much and focus on quality when I say this to them. But I just start doubting, and am I doing this wrong? Like, should I do less? Is quality better? But I have the context that they don't, because I have the system that can build like very high quality applications in minutes. And yeah, I actually need to give it time to actually know if it actually works or not. And I have already like gotten a reply from that. But that aside, give it time is what I'm saying. And don't reflect every day. I mean, when I say don't reflect, like yeah, don't just question things every day. And when you question them, just ask yourself like, what is the actual input that I've given? And usually if it's just like 2 days of doing it, and yeah, you just know now that yeah, it's not like logical enough to like question things, and give it enough time, and then we can like shift paths or tweak the approach. But yeah, yeah, don't question every decision. Define the liver and just pull it consistently enough. And Alex Hormozy, like I really love this quote, which is, yeah, do it so crazy. I mean, I think it's like do it ridiculously so many amounts of times that you would it would just not make sense for you to not win. Okay, I made it a lot more complex, but you get it, right? So yeah, and reassess after 30 or 60 or whatever the days that you've set for yourself, and not after like 2 or 3 days. And the commitment trick. So yeah, sometimes you need external pressure. So which in my case, because I spent a bunch of money on a course slash community, that is only that helped me like actually do the daily actions assigned, which was like send 10 Upwork applications per day, which actually got my first clients. But yeah, the only reason that I started was because I spent that money, and also like there was accountability, and I wasn't confident. I didn't think they were good, and I didn't want to do it, but yeah, I just did it anyway because I just spent some money on a course. And yeah, the lessons, sometimes you just need accountability and maybe put money on the line, our community expecting you to ship. So yeah, you could just force you past resistance. Like if you just can't do it alone, like find a bunch of friends who would like do it along, or find an accountability partner, or get a coach if you could, or join a course that you probably have been like thinking about for so long but probably didn't move to that. And yeah, whatever what okay, whatever forces you to do the bottleneck thing. So yeah, action steps. So yeah, now that you've like identified your bottlenecks and know how you can actually take action, now here is the action steps that you can immediately take after this. So yeah, just find your bottleneck, like click your turn on your timer for 5 minutes and ask the 5 questions. What am I avoiding? And if I did something for 30 days or 60 days or whatever amount of days, would it actually move the needle, and does it have high resistance? Then write down your bottleneck once you like answer all these questions. And yeah, define the daily lever. Like yeah, turn bottleneck into daily actions. So example, in my case, 10 Upwork messages per day, or one sales call per day. Now this is something you cannot control, but yeah, over time you can essentially. But yeah, ship one feature per day, or make record and post one YouTube video, or I don't know, like it could be anything. I'm just talking about AI automation or business, or freelancing stuff, because that is what I did and what I do. But okay, and step 3, like do it tomorrow, even if crappy. It doesn't need to be like, you don't need to feel ready to actually do it, because you wouldn't. And yeah, don't perfect the approach and just start. And crappy action is always better than perfect planning. And yes, as I've said, just to like get over it again, like don't reflect too soon, and give it the amount of time. There's usually a lag from inputs to outputs. So yeah, just give it that time and let it compound, and reassess after the given time. And then you can look at the approach and see what worked and see what didn't. And then you can adjust the approach to make it work better and optimize. And now you've learned, and you actually have data or feedback. And yeah, which you wouldn't have if you just not started. So yeah, which you can like use to optimize, and yeah, which is like far better. And yeah, just to summarize, so hours worked is not equal to results. Just focus on the right action and not time spent. And yeah, you could focusing on the right actions, you could get a lot more done in far less hours than if you would have just set hours and worked for the hours without knowing actually what to work on, and feeling productive but not actually moving the needle. And your bottleneck is probably the one thing that you're probably avoiding, and you probably already know what it is. So yeah, the 3-question framework, like what am I avoiding? With 30 days of this doing this move the needle, or whatever days, and does it have high resistance? And real bottlenecks is execution. So yeah, application or outreach or shipping or working out or whatever. So false bottlenecks is like preparation, like usually something starting fresh, or yeah, it looks really flashy but doesn't actually move the needle. And yeah, these are just things that I've said. But yeah, going over that, yeah. So the lever test: if you did something for like a set amount of time, would it actually move the needle? And if yes, just start that. And yeah, finally, like find the thing you're avoiding, make it your daily lever that you pull every day. And okay, so just to clarify about the levers, the lever is just this thing. Imagine you're at a casino and there's like a rigged lever. I just learned this from one person that I follow, but yeah, I'm just gonna share it with you. So yeah, you're at a casino and there's just this like rigged casino, and there's like a lever, and if you pull it, every time you pull it, you get I don't know, like a $1 coin, or yeah, it's just $1. But you would just want to like keep pulling it so that you get $1, $1, and eventually like you just it's boring, it's not flashy, but yeah, doing it like gives you results. So you just keep pulling it and keep pulling it, and over time you just make thousands, or pulling it thousands of times and you make $1,000. So yeah, that is essentially what's behind this lever thing. But yeah, do it even if it's crappy, and give it like the time, and results follow resistance. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share. And yeah, something that I thought I would want myself, like my 18 my 16-year-old self to like actually this is something that I would say to them: just do the thing and not actually like wait for the perfect opportunity. But yeah, hopefully that was valuable, and thank you so much for your time, and have a lovely rest of the day. And if you're a business owner in the UK and would want to like would want to discuss how you can like increase your revenue, or streamline your processes to make them more efficient And to make them more effective, do reach out and we can like schedule a call on how we can like actually how I can add value to what you're doing. So yeah, thank you so much for your time and have a lovely rest of the day. Cheers.